comfortable position. Allow yourself to sit upright. Again, reminding yourself that even though we're not necessarily doing yoga every day, we can bring our awareness into our posture and try to bring our body into a more comfortable alignment. We might look at how we're sitting. Maybe we're looking downward, or we're turning our head in uncomfortable directions more frequently. So bringing yourself back into that comfortable neutral place is good. Chin level, shoulders drawn back slightly, down away from your ears, not pressing into the hands, but lifting away from the hands. Take a moment and just notice your breath and notice your body in alignment. It takes a little more effort to fully engage and sit upright, but we want it to become more familiar for our body so we can come back to that place over and over again. And then on the exhale, let's lower that chin to the chest. Let's let it rest near the chest, wherever it happens to come naturally to start. And then on the inhale, lift your head up to neutral, and then maybe lift your chin above level. Now, when you lift your chin above level, that's going to open through the throat. We just want to make sure we're not getting a lot of compression at the base of the skull. And then lower your chin down. Inhale, lifting the head up. You can start to draw the shoulders back a little bit more. We're going to move through flexion and extension of the spine, but move in a way that feels comfortable for you. You might focus more on the neck, spend a little more time there, or maybe you decide to start to move it down further into the body a little bit more quickly. The main thing is that you're really paying attention to what you're feeling as you're moving deeper, and you're not forcing anything that feels uncomfortable. We don't have to try to find the discomfort or pain in our body. One more time, inhale. And once more on the exhale, maybe bring your hands forward to your knees, round out that mid-back. And then inhale, come back up to neutral, and at the same time, lift your shoulders up by your ears. Squeeze the shoulders together and back. Now, when you do this, it's stretching across your chest. It's shortening the muscles in the upper back. Let your hands come down. Bring the arms forward. Lift them up. And on the exhale, draw them back. Release them down. So you can let this movement be more or less exaggerated as well. If you make it more exaggerated, you might be finding more places that need attention. Maybe we start out kind of gentle and then make the movement bigger or more expansive after a few times. One more time, bring this forward. So again, this is another type of maintenance movement that you can do to get the body to feel more relaxed. Place your fingertips down, turning away from the front of the body. Work your hands in a bit closer, sit nice and tall. So now you're getting a big stretch across the chest. As the spine is elongated, you're getting all the muscles along the spine to be shortened, and they relax a little bit more. And breathe. Now let's keep the right hand where it's at and bring your left hand to your right knee. We want to sit tall as we come into a twist. Let the hand rest on the knee or slide it in closer to your hip. And breathe. Now the head can be in alignment with the shoulders. You don't necessarily have to turn your head for this twist unless it feels natural or comfortable to you. Give yourself permission not to force or push the movement. Still want to be able to breathe naturally and relax a little bit with the breath. And then let's come back to center. Bring your left hand behind you. Right hand can come to the left leg. Sit nice and tall. Notice your breathing. Now let's inhale and come back to center. We're going to come into a lateral flexion of the spine. Let's go ahead and take our palms out away from us, pointing up toward the ceiling, and then lift your arms up overhead. Let your shoulders stay relaxed. Interlace your fingers above your head. Press your palms up. Draw them back, open through the shoulders a bit more. And on the exhale, we're going to hinge to the right. So since we're not using our hand to stabilize us, we're going to take this a little bit more gentle. Inhale, come up, and on the exhale, hinge to the left. Now, if you'd rather, you can put that hand down. It's up to you. Allow yourself to move gently, or with the hands down, you can take this into a deeper movement. Just building some core strength here. One more time, inhale. Once more, exhale to the right. Inhale, and exhale to the left. And then come right back to where we started, press the palms up again. And on the exhale, we're going to slowly and gradually release our hands down beside our hips. Let's go ahead and come to a tabletop position. As we come to a tabletop position, we want our wrists directly under our shoulders, knees directly under our hips. Start out by coming into that neutral tabletop position where you're looking at the mat. You engage the muscles in the upper back, mid back, and low back. And breathe. And then we're going to lift our gaze forward. Let the center of your spine drop down toward the mat, tailbone tilts up. So we're going to do some deeper flexion and extension of the spine. Tuck your tailbone under, bring your chin to your chest, lift the center of your spine up toward the ceiling. So let's move through this at our own pace. Inhaling and exhaling. So this movement can be very small, very gentle, but the more you take it into the deeper movement, you are going to be engaging more of the core muscles. Now come right back to neutral. Take your right leg back behind you. Tuck your toes, level your hips out. Maybe extend your left arm toward the ceiling. Left it out in front of you, thumb toward the ceiling, and breathe. You can lift your right leg up, spinal balance. And then we're going to let that left hand come down. Take your right leg, cross over the left. Tuck your toes, press to the heel. Stretching that right hip, you might decide to look over the left shoulder at the right foot. Lateral flexion of your spine. Now inhale, bring your right leg back to center. And then bring that right leg forward and through. Place it on the mat, knee over ankle. And let's place our hands on the inside of that right foot and then shift our body forward and back. We're moving our ankles, knees, hips, hamstrings, and quadriceps. Allow yourself to take this nice and slow. And gauge if you have any areas that feel a little uncomfortable. We don't have to make this movement big and expansive. Now, with that left hand across from the right foot, we're going to turn to the right with our right hand on our knee. Lift your right arm up. Allow yourself to open through the chest as you come into this. You can tuck your toes on your left leg, come off your kneecap. And breathe. And then we're going to go ahead and put our right hand on our right knee. Let that left knee come down. And then lift your body up, stack it over your left hip. Use that right foot for stability. So we're going to adjust it to where it feels a little bit more comfortable and stable. Let your arms come down beside you. We can lift our arms up overhead, palms facing each other. We can interlace those fingers. Draw your arms back behind you. Keep your gaze forward. You might decide to lift your gaze up toward the ceiling. It's going to stretch to the front of the torso more deeply. And breathe. And then we're going to lower those arms back down. Separate the hands. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe we hinge forward to a flat back. Right shoulder to the inside of that right knee. Lift the arms up overhead, humble warrior. And breathe. Now let's put those hands down on the inside of that right foot. We might angle our right toes out. Walk your hands a bit further forward if you choose. Tuck your toes on your left leg, come off your left kneecap, come down toward that left hip. And breathe, lizard pose. And then we're going to walk those hands back again. Bring your right knee back to meet your left, and we're going to come back to our initial tabletop position. Extend your left leg back. Tuck your toes, level your hips, look at the mat. Extend your right arm, thumb toward the ceiling if you like. You can lift that left leg up, spinal balance. Right hand comes down. Left leg crosses over, tuck the toes. Look over your right shoulder at your left foot, lateral flexion of your spine. And breathe. Now bring that left leg back to center. Step the left leg forward and through. Place it on the mat. Again, knee over ankle for stability. Allow yourself to place that right hand across from the left foot, left hand on your left knee. Turn towards your left knee. Lift your left arm up. Modified twisted low lunge. Tuck the toes on your right leg. Come off your right kneecap if you choose. Press back through that heel. And breathe. And then put your left hand down on your left knee. Right knee comes down. We're going to lift our torso up here. You can lift those arms up overhead if you choose. Interlace your fingers. Draw your arms back. Keep your gaze forward. Or look up toward the ceiling if you want to challenge your balance and come into a deeper back bend as well. And breathe. And then we're going to lower the arms down. Separate the hands. Bring the hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Let's hinge forward to a flat back. Left shoulder to the inside of that left knee. Lift the arms up overhead, humble warrior. And breathe. Place your hands down on the inside of that left foot if you like. Again, we can shift forward and back, maybe angle the left toes out. Place your hands above that left foot. Tuck your toes on your right leg. Come off your right kneecap. Drop that right hip down. Again, you can come all the way down onto your forearms if you choose. Breathe, lizard pose. Either way is good. We're going to walk those hands back in. Bring both knees back. With the knees together, ease your hips back towards your heels. Let your chest rest on your thighs. Stack your hands flatter in fists. Let the head rest on the hands for a moment. So child's pose with knees together is going to add more compression to your abdomen, knees, and hips. We might extend those arms out in front, palms on the mat. Let's shift our body forward. Bring your shoulders over your wrists, and on the exhale, let's release our hips down toward the mat. This is going to stretch the hip flexors, and you're going to feel this across your mid and low back. Inhale, lift your hips, and exhale, ease your hips back towards your heels. So take your time as you move through this. We want to notice how it feels all the way through the flow. Adjust if you need to. Let it be a bit more gentle, possibly. Now, when you come forward this time, you might hang out here a bit. Lift up through the crown of the head. Let your hips drop a little bit more deeply. And then from here, we're going to ease back toward our hips again, but take your knees wide this time. Come into the wide knee version of child's pose. Come down onto the forearms. Again, hands can stack underneath your forehead. Now from here, we're going to walk our hands back in toward our knees. We're going to tuck our toes, rock back toward our heels. And then let's come up to a standing posture. Coming up to a standing posture, we want our feet to be 1 to 2 fists width apart. For stability, make sure that you rock forward into your toes and back to your heels. Notice where your inner arches are. Let your hands relax down beside you, palms facing forward. And then we're going to inhale, lift our arms up overhead. Let the palms come together. Exhale, hands right down through the center of the chest. Let the thumb knuckles rest on the sternum. Drop your shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift up. And on the exhale, we're going to hinge forward to a flat back. So I'm going to turn to the side. So we want to hinge at our hip flexors, reach back through your fingertips. We don't block the backs of the knees. We want to have a slight bend. Then push back through your hips and fingertips. And on the exhale, bend your knees slightly, sweep the floor. And inhale up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, back bend. If that feels comfortable, exhale, hinge forward, press back to your hips and fingertips. Exhale, bend the knees, sweep the floor. And inhale up. Ooh, sorry, got great balance. Exhale, hands to the heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're all the way back up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Now, let's go ahead and let's do a couple of balancing poses. We're going to start out with our standing mountain pose. Shift into your right foot, and then let your left leg cross over the right. A little bit or a lot, depending on how this feels to you. We can stay here. We can bend our knees, drop into our hips. Take your arms out to shoulder height if you like. Bring your right arm over your left. Give yourself a big hug, or intertwine your arms if you prefer. And breathe. And then unwind the arms, uncross the legs, come back to where we started. I'm going to step off my mat when I do my balancing. And then from here, we're going to shift to our left foot, cross the right leg over, tuck your toes on the floor, bend your knees slightly if you like, extend arms out, left arm over the right, give yourself a big hug, intertwine your arms, lift the elbows up, eagle pose, and breathe. And then go ahead and unwind the arms, uncross the legs. It's nice to have a cushy mat for the knees and so forth, but when you're doing balancing pose, it's not necessarily your friend. So consider being on a more sturdy surface when you do balancing. Now we're going to go ahead and come into a standing wide-legged posture. We'll do the Warrior Two series. So with your feet wide, we want the feet to be comfortably wide apart. We don't want to feel like we're straining to do this. And then lift the toes of your right foot up. Turn your right foot to the end of the mat, but try not to turn your body. Bend your right knee, drop down equally between both legs. So your center of gravity is still right down through the center of your body. Extend arms out at shoulder height, palms down. Look down the center of your right arm and look off into the distance. Warrior Two. You can turn that right palm up, lift the hand toward the ceiling, lightly touch the back leg, Exalted Warrior. A lateral flexion of your spine, and breathe. If you look back at your foot, you might find that more stabilizing. Looking up at your hand might challenge your balance a little bit more. Now inhale, we return to our Warrior Two. Let's put our left hand on our left hip, straighten your right leg, reach out over the right leg and connect with your shin. Fingertips are back of the hand, draw your left shoulder back. Stack your left arm over your right, and breathe. Once again, return to your Warrior Two. Hands to your hips, turn both feet forward, and now we're going to turn the left foot to the end of the mat. Again, take a minute, get stable, bend that knee if you like to the degree that suits you. Extend arms out at shoulder height, palms down. Look down the center of that left arm. Focus on your goal. Turn the left palm up. Lift the left hand toward the ceiling. Come into your Exalted Warrior. And breathe. Now inhale. And on the exhale, back to your Warrior Two again. This time, place your right hand on your right hip. We're going to straighten that left leg. Reach out over the left leg. Connect with your shin. And draw your right shoulder back. You might lift that right arm up. Stack it over the left, and breathe. Triangle pose. And then let's come back to our Warrior Two again. Hands to your hips. We'll turn both feet forward. And now we're going to hinge forward to a flat back. Allow yourself to either keep your hands on your hips, or maybe you put your fingertips underneath your shoulders. We want to be able to shift forward into the base of our toes and back toward our heels. You can put your palms down on the mat if you choose. Inner thighs and back of the legs are going to get a nice stretch. Also great for the low back. You could walk your hands in a little bit closer so that they're almost in alignment with your feet. Bend your elbows if you like. Drop your head down a bit. And breathe. Now inhale, lift your head up to level again. Then we're going to place our hands on our hips. Inhale your head all the way up, heel to your feet. And then we're going to come back down onto the mat. So once we come down onto the mat, we're going to bring our right leg forward and our left leg back in a Z-sit. We're going to place one hand on either side of this right knee. And on the exhale, let's bend our elbows, lower down to the leg. We're going to get some compression in our abdomen, thigh, and hip. And then inhale, lift up through the crown of the head. So 2 more times with this somatic movement. You want at least 3 repetitions. Exhale and inhale. Great for your digestion, good for legs, hips, back, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, lower down. And inhale, lifting up. Now, we're already in a twist. We can decide if we'd like to twist a little deeper. Hands on the outside of the knee, or walk the hands all the way back toward the hip. Take the twist that feels just right for you today. Stay upright or fold over the leg. Come down onto your forearms if you choose. So as you come down, this is a deeper twist and deep compression in your abdomen. If for any reason you need it to be less intense, walk your hands back in or lift your body up away from your leg. Make sure your neck is nice and neutral. And then we're going to walk our hands back in. You can put your right hand behind your hip. You might lift your hips up. You might reach that left arm up and over. And then lower back down. We're going to extend the left leg, keep the right leg centered. And then place your hands in front of your right ankle. We want to bend our elbows and lean forward a bit. So we're hinging at our hip flexors. We're elongating the low back. Walk your hands out until your body says that's far enough. Again, it might not be as far as you can go. It just might be that first place where your body wants you to pause. Let your body relax a bit. And generally, you can go a bit further past that. You just don't want to push past it. And breathe. And then decide if you want to walk your hands over to your extended leg. Place your hands on your thigh. Slide your hands to your ankles if you like. And breathe. Walk our hands back in. Let's bring our left leg in front for easy seated. You might put your foot on your knee on your foot for square, or you might opt for shoelace. Again, you get to choose the one that feels best in your body today. Take your arms out to shoulder height. Bring your right arm over your left. Let's give yourself a big hug here. Sit upright, stretch the muscles across the upper back, shorten the muscles in the chest, similar to eagle arms, but we're not going to intertwine the arms here. This is very calming for the nervous system. You might decide to stay here, but maybe we hinge forward and let our elbows rest on the knees or on the mat in front of us, depending on which position you've taken. It's going to add compression to your abdomen. Forward folds are calming, and it's a deeper stretch in shoulders and hips. Now inhale, let's come back up. And on the exhale, unwind the arms, take them all the way out. Press your palms away. This is stretching the muscles across your chest and your upper back. Bring your hands down beside you. With the hands flexed, sit up nice and tall. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. We're not pressing into the hands. We're just letting the shoulders release some of that tension. We can stay here, but you might decide to turn your fingers toward the back of the mat. Work your hands in a little closer. Once again, that's bringing those muscles along the spine into a shortened position. Notice how that feels. Again, this is going to get those muscles to relax. So if you're having some issues with tightness in the upper back or even in the chest, this is always good. Even if you're sitting in the chair, just bring your hands back toward the back of the chair and just let them rest there. We don't have to do it too intensely. And then decide if you want to drop your chin to your chest. That's going to stretch the back of the neck. From here, we decide if we just want to hang out here or if we want to make 3 neck circles. If we choose the neck circles, take your time as you turn your head towards your right shoulder. Look out over the shoulder, lift your chin up from there, bring your head to center, turn in the other direction, lower the chin down, and back to center. Take your time as you move through this. Allow yourself to open up lots of space. Don't force or push anything. And once your chin comes back to the center of your chest after the third repetition, pause. Lift your head up. And that's another good one to keep in mind. If your neck and shoulders get really tight, that slow somatic movement is going to be the key to getting the muscles to relax. So let's go ahead and go to the other side. We'll bring our left leg forward, right leg back. One hand on either side of this knee. And then decide if you want to bend your elbows, lower down, take your time. And inhale, lifting up. Couple more repetitions with this. Again, maybe you use your arms less if your shoulders are super tense. Maybe you want to control the compression that you receive so you don't go as far down. Now, once we've come back up the third time, we're already in a twist. We decide where we want to take this twist, how intense do we want to make it, and then let's fold over that leg, come down onto your forearms. Deer pose, deep twist, deep compression, calming forward fold. And then let's walk our hands back in again. Press into your left hand, lift the hips up if you like, reach the right arm up and over, stretch through the front of the body. And then let's lower back down. We'll extend our right leg out, keep our left leg centered. Allow yourself to place your hands in front of the ankle. Lean forward, explore where you want to go with this. Again, we're not trying to get any place in particular. We're trying to find the place where our body feels like that's enough. That's just right for me today. And then walk your hands over to your extended leg. Place your hands on your thighs, slide your hands towards your ankle if you like. And just breathe and notice. We're going to bring the hands back in. We're going to bring our right leg in front, foot on knee, knee on foot for square, or you might opt for that shoelace if you prefer that one. Arms out. Left arm over the right. Give yourself another big hug here. Notice how this feels in the upper back as well as in the chest. Stay upright. Drop your chin, round forward or fold forward if you choose. And again, noticing the compression in the abdomen, the deeper stretch in the shoulders and hips. Notice whether or not it's calming. Now inhale, we'll come back up. And on the exhale, unwind the arms, extend them all the way out. Sit up nice and tall as you let those hands flex, come down toward the mat, and then turn the fingers toward the back of the mat. Notice how that feels across the chest and in the upper back as well. Let's lower our chin to our chest, stretch the back of the neck. Maybe we hang out here and make 3 more neck circles in the opposite direction. Take your time. Notice how this feels. Don't force or push anything. Breathe. One final circle. Once your head comes back to center, we're going to pause. Release the shoulders. Allow yourself to sit up in a comfortable position. Now, we're going to address the neck and the shoulders a little bit more too. Let's let that right ear come over toward the right shoulder. So now, notice when you do this, you're getting a bit of a stretch on the left side. Lift that right arm up and place your hand on your left ear. Now, we don't want to push or pull. We just want to add a slight deepening of the stretch. Still sit up tall and breathe. Now, slide your hand slightly behind the ear and let that right side of the chin come down toward the chest. Again, we're not forcing or pushing this. Now release that right hand down. Inhale, lift your head back up. Let your left ear come to your left shoulder. And again, hang out there for a moment. Consider lifting that left arm up. Very gently place that left hand on your right ear. Again, we just want to add a little bit of intensity to the stretch. We don't want to force this. We don't want to push. And breathe. Again, you can put your hands slightly behind the ear and let that left side of the chin drop down toward the chest as well. Breathe. Now release that left hand down. Inhale, bring your head back up to center. This time on the exhale, we're going to let the chin come toward the chest. Interlace your fingers. Very gently place them on the back of the head. Let your elbows drop down. Again, that's going to intensify the stretch, but not past a normal amount of stretch. We're not forcing, we're not trying to push down on the head. It's just the added weight of the hands. And then release your hands down and inhale your head up. So that's a way to just add that tiny bit of pressure. You have to get really comfortable with not forcing the pressure down when you do that though. We are going to consider taking our legs out wide. Let's take both legs into a comfortable wide-legged position and then scoot forward so you're sitting more toward the top of the thigh so you feel that sit bone on both legs. Allow yourself to put your hands comfortably in front of you, or maybe you let them rest on the legs. Starting out by just extending the legs out like this is the beginning to a good stretch. Shake your legs out a little bit, maybe wiggle them back and forth. So we're not trying to get our legs into a super engaged, tense place at this time. We might draw the toes toward us, and when we do that, notice how the back of the legs feel. Your calves, behind your knees, your hamstrings are all getting engaged. Extend your toes. Notice how that feels through the top of the feet, all through the front of the shins. And you might start to feel some engagement in the upper legs as well. So notice how that feels. So we can point and flex a few times. That's going to give us a pretty good little stretch here. Maybe we decide to circle our ankles a few times while we're here. It's going to be good for the ankle joints. I guess we don't really think a lot about our ankles until they give us trouble. It's always the way. We ignore certain parts of our body until they're troublesome. Okay, let's circle our ankles again in the other direction. And now we've got some good stretching here. Now we're going to lean forward from our hips. You can put your hands down in front. You might slide them down the legs. Note your low back too. We don't want to round that low back too quickly. So lean into this. Explore your stretch slowly and gradually. Don't force anything. And again, when you get to a point where there's some resistance, even if it's minor, give yourself a chance to kind of let go, relax, soften into this. You can continue with this. Maybe they're sliding toward the ankles or out in front of you. Take the time to explore those places where your body has you pause. You can come down onto your forearms if you choose. So we want to relax our body into a deeper stretch rather than forcing our body to comply. And walk the hands back in. Let's bring the soles of our feet together. Let our knees open out. Depending on where you have the feet positioned and the tightness in your hips and knees, they might not drop that close to the floor. If they're further away, you're in a much more relaxed position. You bring your legs in closer, it might be more intense. Now you can rock a little bit side to side to loosen up the hips. Maybe we put our hands on our ankles and allow ourselves to sit taller with this. You might bounce your knees. That's going to stretch your inner thighs a bit. Or you can just press down with the knees themselves, not with your hands, but just actually tell the knees to press toward the floor. It's going to give you a different type of stretch. It's going to land more in the ligaments. You can lean forward from here again, and when you meet some resistance, notice where it's at, and don't force yourself to push through it. And breathe. We want to let our body relax into a deeper stretch. If the body relents and lets us go further, great. If it doesn't today, we don't really have to force it at all. going to go ahead and come back. Let's extend both legs out in front in seated stack pose. I'm going to turn aside to this one again. So with the legs extended out in front of us, we want to make sure that we're sitting again more toward the top of the thighs rather than back toward the tailbone or the glutes. Once you're settled in here, again, legs are extended, but we're not necessarily engaging them at this point. You can draw your toes towards you, which is going to activate the leg muscles more. We want to lift away from the base of the body, lift up through the crown of the head. Again, notice that you're actually involving your full core from above your knees to your rib cage here. So all you have to do is come into this position and breathe. Don't have to even do forward folds with it. Just allow yourself to notice what it feels like to sit upright fully and really use those muscles. This would be considered a static pose. Static poses are great too. Every type of pose has its benefits. And then let your body relax, because that's a lot of work, even just doing this in a static way. So again, we're going to lift from the base of the body, lift up through the crown of the head. Now we might hinge forward from our hips, lean into this. You can slide your hands down toward the toes. And again, you're going to meet some resistance when you get to a certain point. Inhale, come back up and breathe. And on the exhale, hinge forward. Take your hands closer maybe to your ankles. Inhale, come back up. Again, lift from the base of the body. Hinge from your hip flexors. Maybe you get your hands closer to the feet this time. Maybe even to the toes. And breathe. And then we're walking our hands back in. Just a bit more like isometric poses where we find the engagement and we let ourselves stay there, rest there. Now let's get this left knee in. Bringing the knee in is going to add some compression on the left side of the abdomen. Keep the foot on the inside or let it cross over that right leg if you choose. Right leg can stay straight or you can bend the knee and bring it to your hip. Now let's put our right hand on top of the left knee. Again, we want to sit tall because that's going to take some of the compression out of the torso, definitely out of the spine. Look at your left shoulder, put your hand behind you. This right hand can rest on the knee. You can pull the knee in if you want to. Allow yourself to notice how this feels. Seated spinal twist. And then inhale, let's come back to center and gently twist in the opposite direction. So it's an unwind twist. It's good because it allows you to counter what we just did on that first one. Bring the leg on the inside and position this left foot anywhere on the inside of the right leg that suits you. It can be down by the ankle, all the way up to the top of the thigh. Sit tall. Let's hinge forward over the extended leg. Slide your hands towards your ankles. Look beyond the end of your foot. Notice you're going to feel this at the top of the thigh. You want to make sure your back feels relaxed. And breathe. Come back. Extend that right leg out. Draw the right knee in. Did I say left leg and then right knee in? Allow yourself to notice how this feels. Again, you can keep this foot on the outside or you can cross over if you like. Left leg can stay straight or you can bend the knee into your hip. Place the left hand on top of your right knee. Notice how it feels. Sit tall. You can look at your right shoulder. You can put your hand behind you. Left hand can hang out on the knee. Pull it in closer to the center of your torso if you like. And breathe. We're going to come back to center, twist in the opposite direction, unwind the twist. Now we're going to re-extend the left leg, bring your right leg on the inside, and again, position the foot where it feels best to you. Sit tall, hinge forward from your hip flexors. We're going to fold over the extended leg. Once again, notice when your body resists. Notice where it feels, if it begins to feel like too much, can you give yourself permission to back off a bit? We're going to walk those hands back in. We're going to place our feet on the mat, ease our hips toward our heels, slowly lower down to constructive rest pose. Let's take a minute and lift the hips gently, set them back down more comfortably. Allow yourself to bring feet in closer or further away, widen the stance if you like. Check for the arch of the back now. We want to lift up a little bit and then position it so the mid-back relaxes a bit more. Lift your head, your shoulders, let them come down more comfortably. Hands can rest palms upward. Let your knees sway side to side. Take your time as you move through this a few times. Giving ourselves permission just to let go of some of that tension, relaxing and releasing. Again, this type of movement where you're putting less expectation on your body and you're letting it be a little bit more free form is a good way to down-regulate the nervous system. Now let's walk feet in close to each other, ankles and knees touching. Let your knees shift to the left, extend your right arm out, look towards your right hand. Notice how this feels. Nice twist. See if we can soften and relax a little bit more though. There's generally a little bit of tension even in the most gentle version of a pose. So if your toes are curled up or your feet are flexed intensely, let go of some of that. Let go of trying to hold the knees symmetrically together. And clench your fists and your jaws. Just soften a bit more. Let's let the knees come back to center. And on the exhale, shift your knees to the right. Extend your left arm out. Look towards your left hand. And once again, allow yourself to relax a bit more. I think sometimes we need more practice at relaxing than anything. But generally, we don't allow ourselves that luxury of just softening and relaxing. Now, we're going to let the knees come back to center. You might lift your feet up off the floor, place your hands on your knees, rock a little bit across your low back. Good way to let go of some low back tension. Knees away from your body keeps the compression off the abdomen. If you need more compression in your abdomen, bring the knees in, let the hands rest on the shins. And breathe. You might widen the knees, take the pressure off the abdomen altogether. But if you keep your hands on your shins, it's pressing your mid and low back into the mat a little bit more comfortably. Slide your hands towards your ankles for a deeper inner thigh stretch. They could just rest on the ankles or maybe you interlace those fingers. Wrap them around the feet, pressure knees open here. This is a very good, intense inner thigh stretch. But remember, you can ease up on it by bringing the knees in closer to each other. And breathe. Reach for the edges of your feet. Lift the soles of the feet up toward the ceiling. Happy baby. You can rock from knee to knee here if you like. And breathe. Now let's come back to center. Bring the feet together. Let the knees come together. And let's extend our legs up toward the ceiling. Let your hands rest behind the knees or take them away all together. Let them rest palms up. Legs up the wall. Again, always a good idea. Legs up the wall, great for your circulation, good for your heart, your digestive system. Anxiety and insomnia are reduced. Again, it doesn't have to be active and it doesn't have to be intense. You can use the wall if you like. You can point and flex your feet and stretch your legs more too if you choose. And breathe. You might go ahead and circle those ankles a few times. Maybe back in the other direction. You could even reach up for those big toes. Press to the soles of the feet. Press your back into the mat. Now we can place our hands on the outside of the legs. Open the legs out in a supine wide-legged position. Again, support the legs if you need to, or just take the legs out and stretch the inner thighs on your own. Again, this is another good one to use a wall with. And then we're going to go ahead and rebend those knees. Let's place our feet down on the mat. Slide your feet to the end of the mat if you choose. Reach your arms overhead. Let's stretch out from fingertips to toes. Allow yourself to come into a comfortable position for final relaxation. Palms up, feet out to the sides. You can also roll onto your side, come into a child's pose if you prefer. But do take the time now to get comfortable to rest in stillness. Allow yourself to noticing any tension that lingers in the body. Bring your awareness to your right big toe. Notice the right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, and your pinky toe. Notice all the toes on your right foot. Notice the top of your right foot, the sole of the foot, your heel and ankle. Allow yourself to notice your right shin and calf, right kneecap and back of the knee. Observing, noticing sensations. Let go of judging what you find. Notice the top of your right thigh, the inner thigh and outer thigh, as well as the back of the thigh, and your right hip. Notice deep in that right hip socket. Allow yourself to notice your entire right leg and foot as sensation. Bring your awareness to your left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, your pinky toe. Allow yourself to feel and sense every toe on your left foot, the sole of your left foot, the top of the foot, your heel and ankle. Feel and sense your entire left foot as sensation, your left shin, your calf, the kneecap and back of the knee, the top of the left thigh, outer left thigh, inner left thigh, back of the thigh. Allow yourself to feel and sense your left hip. Feel and sense deep into the hip socket on your left hip. Now allow yourself to feel and sense both legs and feet as sensation at this time. Feel and sense legs and feet. Now bring your awareness to your right hand. Right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky finger. Feel and sense each of the fingers on your right hand, the back of the hand, the palm of the hand, and wrist. Now, don't think about your right hand, but actually try to feel it and sense it. Noticing your pulse, any tingling or vibration in the right hand. Bring your awareness into your right forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder. Feel and sense the entire right arm and hand. Bring your awareness to your left thumb, left index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Feel and sense your entire left palm and your fingers, as well as the back of the hand. Feel and sense your left hand as sensation. Allow yourself to feel and sense both hands at the same time. Feel the sensation, not thinking about the hands, but actually feel them. Draw your awareness into your left forearm, your elbow, left upper arm, bicep and tricep, left shoulder. Now feel and sense both arms and hands as sensation. Feel and sense both legs and feet as sensation as well. Notice tingling, pulse, vibration, discomfort. Noticing both arms and legs, both hands and feet. Now bring your awareness to the back of your torso. Allow yourself to notice your spine from your tailbone to the base of the skull. the vertebrae, the space between the vertebrae, maybe areas along the spine that are uncomfortable, areas that feel fine and relaxed and really you never take notice of. Feel and sense the entire spine. Notice your sacrum and your glutes. Allow yourself to notice the muscles of the mid-back. Bring your awareness into the upper back, the rib cage, the shoulder blades, muscles of the upper back, tops of the shoulders. Feel and sense the entire back of your torso as sensation. Now bring your awareness to the front of the torso, your hips, the abdomen, the solar plexus, the movement of the diaphragm as you breathe. Feel and sense your sternum and rib cage, your collarbones, the chest rising and falling, expanding and contracting with your breath. Allow yourself to move your awareness into the throat, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck, feeling and sensing the entire neck. As you're noticing the neck, allow yourself to notice sensations in the throat as you breathe and swallow. Draw your awareness to the base of your skull. Notice the base of your skull. Notice your scalp. Bring your awareness to your forehead, your temples, the eyebrows, the eyes themselves, as well as your eyelids and eyelashes. Feeling any pulsing in the temples. Draw your awareness to where your jaws meet, upper and lower jaw. Notice that there's tension there. Feel and sense your ears, the folds of your ears, sensation inside the ears. Feel and sense the roof of your mouth, the surface of your tongue, your chin and lips. Now allow yourself to feel and sense your entire body from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes. Allow yourself not to judge what you're experiencing. Allow yourself to just feel and sense everything as sensation in the body. Observing the body breathing. Now, when it feels right to you, allow yourself to return some movement to your body once again. You can start to stretch, wiggle your fingers and toes, maybe move a little bit more intensely. Maybe we come up to an upright seated posture. Allow yourself to consider that. Sit in a way that suits you. You might choose a mudra, maybe thumbs in the palms, fingers around the thumbs, maybe right hand at heart center, left hand on top, or just Anjali Mudra. Take a moment and choose what feels most comfortable for you. And take a moment and reflect on your practice. Notice choices you made tonight. Notice if you stayed within what felt comfortable for your body. Did you explore going a bit further? What did you become aware of as you were practicing tonight? Give yourself permission to acknowledge your own inner awareness about your body. Connecting with the challenging parts as well as the areas of the body that never really get noticed because they're not problems. Allow yourself to notice your experience. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me tonight. I honor the place in you, which is of love, of truth, of light, and of peace. From my heart to yours, namaste.